Let me ask you something. Have you ever had a dream so big, so far from where you are right now, that you were afraid to even say it out loud? A dream that keeps you awake at night, not because you're excited, but because you're scared that maybe you're not good enough to reach it. I know that feeling, and today I want to tell you a story, not because my story is special, but because it's real, and somewhere inside it, you might find yourself. I grew up in a small house, in a small neighborhood. We didn't have much. My father worked long hours. My mother handled everything else, and I was just a kid trying to figure out who I was. But very early in life, people had already decided who I was going to be. My teachers looked at my grades and saw a failure. Relatives looked at our house and saw a family that would never rise. Kids at school looked at my clothes and decided I didn't belong. And slowly, without realizing it, I started to see myself the same way. Small, invisible, not enough. I still remember one afternoon at school. The teacher handed back our exam papers. Everyone was comparing scores and laughing. Then she reached mine. She held it up in front of the class and said, "This is what happens when you don't try." Some students laughed, and I sat there, feeling like the floor had disappeared beneath me. I didn't say anything. I didn't fight back, because deep down, I had started believing she was right. That evening, I walked home alone. The sky was orange, and the streets were quiet. I went inside, dropped my bag, and sat on the floor with my head in my hands. I didn't hear my mother come in, but I felt her sit beside me. She stayed quiet for a moment, and then she said something I never forgot. The people who laugh the loudest are usually the ones standing still. I looked at her. She said, "They laugh because watching you try reminds them of everything they were too afraid to do. So don't shrink yourself to make them comfortable. You keep going." I didn't fully understand it then, but those words stayed with me. Years passed. I finished school. Not at the top, not even close, but I finished. And somewhere along the way, I started dreaming again. Not small dreams, big ones. I wanted to build something. A business, a brand, something of my own. But the moment I told people about it, the laughter came back. At a family dinner, my uncle told me I was living in a fantasy. He said I should stop chasing impossible ideas and get a stable job. Some friends just smiled and changed subject. And one person I trusted said something I will never forget. "You're not the type of person who builds things." That night, I sat in my car for a long time. And for the first time, I seriously thought about giving up. It would have been easy to fold the dream away and live a smaller, safer life. But instead, I called my mother. I told her maybe everyone was right. Maybe I wasn't built for this. She stayed quiet for a moment. Then she said something simple. Everyone who ever built anything heard those same words, and they kept going. So will you. Maybe. Not I hope so. So will you. That call changed something inside me. From that day on, I started working every day, early mornings, late nights, weekends, when everyone else was relaxing. And I failed a lot. My first idea collapsed within 3 months. Everything I built, gone. I remember sitting alone in my workspace, looking at all the plans and notes, and feeling completely empty. But after a few days, I got up again, because I kept hearing her voice. So will you. The second attempt was better, then worse, then better again. And I learned something important. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the path. I also learned something else. The hardest part of chasing a dream is not the work. It's the silence, the years where nothing seems to happen, the years where you're giving everything and getting nothing back yet, and you have to keep going anyway. During those years, one person never stopped believing, my mother, when I had no results. When my bank account was nearly empty, she still believed. She would call and ask simple questions. Are you eating? Are you sleeping? Are you okay? And at the end of every call, she would say, I'm proud of you. Not when you succeed, right now. For not quitting. Do you know what that does to a person? When the world doubts you, and one person believes in you, it rebuilds you from the inside out. 3 years later, something started working. Small wins at first, then bigger ones. And one morning, I received a message from a company I had admired for years. They wanted to talk. I sat in that meeting, realizing that something I once thought was impossible was finally real. After the meeting, I drove straight to my mother's house. She was in the kitchen, same person who sat beside me years ago when I felt like a failure. I told her everything. She looked at me and simply said, I knew. I always knew. And in that moment, everything made sense. Now, let me talk to you, because this story is not really about me. It's about you. You, sitting there with a dream you're afraid to say out loud. Let me tell you something people rarely say. The doubt never completely disappears, even after success. Fear still shows up sometimes, but the difference between people who build things and those who don't is simple. Builders keep moving, even with fear. You are going to be told, you're not enough. Maybe you already have been. But remember this, when people say you can't do something. They're not seeing your limits. They're seeing their own. Your limits are different, and you haven't reached them yet. Yes, you will fail more than once, but failure is not a sign to stop. It's a lesson. And lessons only work if you stay in a room long enough to learn them. So stay in the room and find your believer. Maybe it's a parent. Maybe it's a friend. Maybe it's just you. Deciding to believe in yourself when nobody else does, that is enough to start. One believer can change everything. Be that person for yourself and keep going, because somewhere in the world, right now, someone is laughing at a dream that is going to change everything. Maybe that dream is yours, and the world is waiting for what only you can build. Only you can build.